Hey, how is everyone? I hope good. I just got back from traveling, and while I was driving today, I had to kind of, I was kind of taken back, I guess, by what I had realized, and I'm sure the universe helped me figure it out, but I had to share it. I could not wait to come home and do a video on it, which is funny, but let me tell you, this is going to be something that I just went through, and I think it's just important to share, and I'm really glad that I learned what I was supposed to learn from it. Um, about a year ago, I started talking to this guy that I've known for a long time. I mean, not really. I knew who he was, and vice versa, and I mean, we knew of each other. We weren't like really good friends or anything like that, but I had always been attracted to him, and we just started talking one day, and one thing led to another and whatever else. Well, instantly when this started going on with my past, what I went through with my husband and all that, I just felt that everybody was against me. I felt like the whole world, I was playing the victim. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. And I just felt like everybody perceived me in a certain light, like I was just this piece of shit person, and that did all this stuff that that created the mess that I ended up in. And I realized today when I was thinking about it that I never gave that person a chance to ever just like prove me wrong. Not that he had to prove it to me. Nobody should ever have to do that. But I never gave him a chance just to be himself. And instantly I got really insecure. I felt like I just was not good enough. And it just really, I have fear of an abandonment, obviously, because I was abandoned by, a parent when I was young, and also in two relationships that really took a toll on me and really made me feel like, why does everybody always abandon me? Why do people leave me? And that's been a fear since I was a kid, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. But so I just, no matter who would have came into my life, no matter what, until I actually realized this, I just always thought that somebody was going to come in and just leave. And that fear like overpowered me and just made me feel unworthy of anyone that came into my life. And I wasn't in that time or during that time that I did all this. My self-love was not what I was perceiving it to be the, people thought I had all this self-love while I was promoting it. And I was really trying to learn how to have it and, have it within me, but I hadn't even came close to having it. So, make the story short, well, I just went in and, and then I never gave it a chance to move into anything else. I never gave it a chance to do anything. I feared the abandonment. I feared that I wasn't worthy of him. I thought that he was better than me, and that, and I can't speak for him, but the way I feel is that, I definitely sabotaged it with my fears. And instead of, trying to heal my fears and trying to address them and trying to see what they were, I was going into, well, I haven't gone into any relationship since. I mean, that, but I still, I didn't realize what I had done. So I'm driving home today I had to go deliver a table and whatever else that I refurbished, and thinking about it, because it's been a really difficult thing for me. I knew that I did something. I mean, and I did do a lot wrong when it comes to this. I instantly was like, well, we should be in a relationship. And I was like trying to control the situation and trying to, I guess, if we were in a relationship, I would have felt, I don't even think it would have helped. I think it would have just been the same way. I would have still had the same fears of abandonment, but I felt if we were in a relationship or whatever, there would be a less chance of him abandoning, just leaving and me, having a broken heart and fearing me fearing that and me creating this scenario and all this stuff in my head just unfortunately destroyed what could have been, or, you know, and the bad part is that it also has destroyed our friendship, and that just really, really breaks my heart, because he does mean a lot to me. I do have, you know, strong feelings for him, but to not have him as my friend even makes it worse, because he just doesn't talk to me. And, you know, what I did also, so I was pushing this scenario of us being in a relationship, and that, you know, well, if you're not going to commit to me, then, you know, whatever, you know, I stood my ground or whatever. And I'm not one to just just date around. I'm just not like that, but I definitely don't have to be in a tied down serious commitment either. Well, after that, you know, I'm a very giving person. It's kind of definitely one of my, it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. And that's for all people that are like that. You know, it's definitely nice to have somebody that's generous and loving and gives you stuff, but it also is kind of degrading, and maybe most people perceive it wrong, like we're trying to buy them, and maybe we are. I mean, you know, maybe I was, but it also makes them feel kind of rejected themselves, because the fact is that maybe that, and I don't know if this is the case, but this is what, I don't know, I came up with. Maybe that person isn't able to give as much as you're giving, you know, maybe they're not able to do as much. And that's like giving emotionally and, you know, and gift wise, and, you know, trying to help them. And, you know, that can make a person feel like they're not good enough, or they're not worthy enough, or they don't have as much to give that you are. And it really, that has, in my case, it really backfired on me again. And I didn't see what I was doing until today. I mean, well, and I did see what I was doing, but I didn't really take his side into, you know, perspective. I just was like, well, that's who I am. And so if the people don't like it, oh, well. Well, no, that's not the way it is whatsoever. You know, throughout my awakening and my dark night of the soul and all of this journey that I've been going through, I see more negative stuff about myself than I do the other people. But at that time, I'm perceiving this person to have all these negative traits and to be doing what you know, they're rejecting me. Well, we all fear rejection. Nobody likes to be rejected, but, you know, we all are at some point in our life. And we all do kind of stupid things when we feel hurt and we don't quite know what to do about it. The thing is that, you know, this is where communication really is important, because if I would have just communicated, then maybe, or we would have communicated right, maybe we could still be friends, or maybe we could have worked out to be in a relationship. But now we talk a little bit, but not so much. And you get to the point, you know, I really miss him. We used to laugh, and I used to be able to send him jokes, and just, I don't know, it was just, we did have a friendship, and I think that we still consider each other friends, but we're both so standoffish towards each other. And I mean, you know, I'm kind of embarrassed by my actions, and I'm like, my God, he probably thinks I'm some psycho obsessed person that was, you know, and that was far from what I was trying to do. And I was not obsessed with him. The thing is that from the very get-go, I felt this connection with this person that I cannot describe. And I can, because what I believe it is I believe that we're twin flames. I believe that we're actually twin flames and soulmates, which makes the connection even more magnetic. I just felt like I was just so drawn, and I just didn't want to let go, because of the fact is that, you know, I did feel this connection with him. And at the time I had no idea what it was. I mean, no idea. I had never felt that way. And I just, you know, I was trying to do everything in my power to show him my worthiness and show him I was good enough and show him that I could, you know, that I was serious. And, but what I was doing is actually doing the complete opposite of what would have brought the connection together, or what would have, you know, at least let us remain, you know, good friends or whatever. Because, you know, your soulmates and stuff do not have to always be romantic. They can be friendship, they can be family. And So I was trying to push this commitment because I felt unworthy. I didn't think that he looked at me in the way that, like, I felt like he was looking at me in the way that some people in the public, you know, in our hometown, whatever, perceive me as. And a lot of people do at first. A lot of people have a hard time getting to know me because I'm just really, I stay to myself. I'm just really always in my head. I mean, I have a lot of good traits. I'm not saying I don't have any good traits, but I have a lot of, not bad. I'm not going to say they're bad, but they're different than some people. And people have a hard time reading me. And then if you bring in like insecurities and my, you know, my no self-love or self-worth, that just created this whole scenario that pretty much destroyed what I actually was trying to do and what I really want. And you know what I'm saying? And so that's been just really tough, but I have not stopped thinking about it, and I have not stopped soul searching until I figured it out. Well, today I figured it out. He was doing the opposite. He was not wanting to commit, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the time, it made me feel rejected. But he was feeling rejected from me, from all the stupid shit I was doing, and like trying to control, and our communication just halted. There was no more. I think that when we did communicate, I believe that he would take my communication a different way, and I would take his a different way, and we never could get back in balance to be able to understand what exactly was going on. And I really regret that, and it's been a really hard lesson. I thought to myself, well, it's okay, so was this a karmic soulmate? Was this just meant to be that we were supposed to teach each other this hard lesson, and were we looking towards each other to heal our wounds, or to nourish, you know, what we needed or what we were missing from our last relationships or from childhood or whatever? I don't believe that it was a karmic. I believe that what we did, or at least I'll speak for myself, I can't speak for the other person. What I did is I allowed my fears and my past hurts and everything to almost corrupt what could have been in this relationship. Well, of course I'm supposed to learn from it, because that's what we're supposed to do. And with everybody that we meet that come into our lives, or every situation that we're in, we're supposed to obviously learn from it and, you know, grow from it, and make sure that we don't take it into whatever next situation or next relationship or next friendship or whatever. But sometimes it's hard to realize that's what it was. And I feel like I want to like apologize to him, but I have done that before, but I never really understood before what I had done wrong. But I don't know. I just think it might be best not to, because I don't want to make him feel like, I don't know, like to overpower him like I was, in which I did see that part, and I couldn't quite understand why I would do the things I was doing, and why I felt the way I felt, and why I felt so insecure, and I just, you know, I just played that victim mentality, like, you know, well, you know, everybody perceives me that way. There's no way he could like me. I mean, and I really did feel that way. I was like, there's just no way. I mean, he's better than me. He's, you know, he's up here and I'm down here, and that's not true. Nobody's up here and anybody down here. And that shows that the self-love and self-worth were nowhere to be found. And I was allowing all that other negative stuff to overwhelm me and just take over. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to share what I had found and found out and what I realized. But I also wanted to kind of stress how important it is to heal those wounds, to address what you feel. Like if you're abandoned, you feel like you're left out in the cold by somebody, try and figure out why that happened. Try and figure out how it made you feel and what you could do to not feel that way. And to, you know, work on your self-love, and, you know that you're worthy of anyone's love. You're always worthy of love. We're worthy of everyone you come into contact with, even the people that you don't come into contact with. You're worthy of their love. And no matter what you have been taught as a kid, or how your parents treated you, or the relationships that you were in the past, no matter what, it's important for us to always know that we're worthy of everything in life, that we're worthy of love, and we're definitely worthy of loving ourselves, and loving ourselves first, because if I did love myself first, I wouldn't have created this mess that I created. So, and then also, just how important it is to be able to relate to people how you feel, and not to be ashamed of your feelings and the way you're feeling towards yourself and towards any situation, because I think that if we would have known, because we would have been able to at least been there for friends, and been able to actually build and help understand and help each other build our self-love and worth up. And because we could have told each other what we actually, how we perceived each other, and if it was in a good or bad light, but it always helps. And I just think that we're all so ashamed of feeling weak in our life, or we're ashamed of people perceiving us that, you know, we're kind of fucked up in a certain way. I mean, because we're all a little fucked up. I mean, I don't care who you are. Nobody's perfect. We all have wounds that go deep, and we all have fears, and we just need to communicate that stuff to people. That's why I started this channel, is because I do have a lot of this stuff, you know, that I've gone through in my life that has really made me the person I was and am, and whom I want people to see my growth, and I want people to see that it's not a bad thing to open up and say, hey, my wounds and my low self-esteem and my no self-love and, you know, no self-worth really fucked up a situation that could have been really good. And it could have been, you know, in a romantic way or in a friendship way. And it left two people feeling that, you know, or at least it left me feeling like, how can I be so drawn to this person and not be able to at least be friends with him? And you know what I'm saying? And it just really has broke my heart. I mean, I have a broken heart, but the thing is I broke my own heart by allowing myself to destroy something that I really wanted, and then I destroyed it by trying to control it and overpower it, and then allowing my, you know, my generosity and stuff. You know, there's just a fine line when it comes to that. And I know it. I do know it more now than, you know, than I did before, but because I've always been that way towards everybody. And I have really had to learn some hard lessons towards giving too much, and, you know, people start expecting it. And I'm not saying that this person did it all. This is just, you know, experiences in my life, and it's, you know, it is a good thing to be generous and loving and stuff like that. But also, when you're giving material things and, you know, whatever else you're doing, sometimes that's just not enough for that person. They want your emotions. They want you to be vulnerable. They want you to be able to trust them and not look at them as the person that you were in the relationship before them. And I know that not we all, because not everybody is like this, but a lot of us tend to forget that. And we go into a new relationship just assuming this person's going to be just like the person before. And it's just not true. And it really, sorry, I'm hot. It really creates like a toxic environment. It really creates a mess. And it's not fair to the person that you're doing it to. And it's not fair to yourself. So it's just really important for us to heal. And it's just really important for this person. If he ever watches this video, I'm sure that he'll know who he is. I just want to tell him that I'm very sorry that I didn't see the things I was doing. I'm sorry that I took advantage of our friendship, and I'm just truly sorry for allowing my life and my fears and kind of my ignorance to do this, because it's now I can really see that what I did, and I'm just really sorry. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. got a new deck of cards today. They're really super cool. They're actually David Bowie is the one that illustrated, you know, made this deck. So it's just really extremely cool. So I might have to do a reading. I usually don't read my cards till after a month, but I don't know, this deck seems a little bit different. I've only messed with it one time. I just got home, so I haven't even touched it since I've been home, but I'm just really drawn to it, so I'm really excited to do a reading from it, so I'll probably do that in a bit. Much love to everybody. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Much love and happiness and peace and healing to everyone, and I hope this video helped someone if they were in the same situation that I put myself in, and just know that, you know, forgive yourself for the mistakes that you make. That's all you can do. And, you know, you pray that the other person will forgive you also. And hopefully just look at you in a different light, because we all make mistakes. And we just all have to learn from the things that we do in life. And sometimes it's not, we don't make the best decisions. And so, okay, peace. Have a great weekend.